Greetings everyone, time for another Beatles Finds video. Some of these Beatles Finds, if you're watching all my videos, you may have seen some of these looking familiar because I've shown them in other kinds of videos, like videos I did when I went to a record fair and stuff like that. But a lot of these are going to be new, including some more stuff from my friend Elliot, which I'll show later on. So we're going to start with stuff that I got at a record fair recently. I'm going to start with this poster, which is the advertisement for the Beatles at the BBC, I believe. Doesn't say live at the BBC on it, but this was probably used for that purpose. Now, you might notice there's a line here. That line wasn't in it when I bought it. I have no idea how this happened. I folded the poster well, I thought, and I left it in a bag for the past week or two, whatever it's been. And somehow, along the line, it's got a fold in it, a crease, I should say. But I should have known better than to do that. But there it is, nevertheless. Let's see now. What else is next? Also at the show, I picked up a Ringo Starr tour book from the 2000 tour program. You know, I was thinking of making a new video, which I still may do, on the topic of how to know when you have something already or not. I mean, some of us keep things chronicled. We keep a list. We have a database where we know what we have, but you can't list everything in this room, can you? One at a time. You'll be here till the second coming. But I'm saying that because I don't know if I have this already or not. You know, you wind up getting things over again. And one thing I notice about this particular tour book, Ringo looks a little chunky here for Ringo. I don't think Ringo has certainly never been fat, but I have to tell you, this may be the best example here of a rather well-fed Ringo. Just an observation, just to have something to talk about. But yeah, I really don't know. Do I have this already or not? That happens from time to time. I mean, certain things you know as soon as you see them. Oh, I don't have this for sure. But then there's other times where maybe you're not as sure. Okay. This is a photograph taken by Linda McCartney that was used on the McCartney 2 album. But the reason I picked this one up, I like this so much, is it has Paul wearing a t-shirt there, highlighting the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. And the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, they did a song that I loved from the 70s called Jackie Blue. That's their big hit. I'm told by my friend Julio that they have lots of other hits as well, but that's lost on me for now. That's the song that I like and the song that I know. Jackie Blue, great song. Bought some 7-inch records here, and I'm going to start by showing you this one, which is still in a plastic, and I got these all at half price, by the way. There was a guy who was selling these things for half price. Like, this thing was $10. This is an original copy of She Loves You and I'll Get You, and the sleeve is really a nice shape too. And I don't really have these. I haven't really been collecting these original Parlophone 45s. But eventually I'm going to have to get a full collection of them. And the reason I think I'm not so interested in these as much as other things is because, I mean, the sleeves are nothing really to get excited about. You know, I like collecting picture sleeves. But still, to have a nice complete run would be a good thing if they're cheap enough. I'm not going to spend, definitely not going to spend a fortune on those. Okay, as I said, I have other 45s to show. This is Paul McCartney, a UK really overlooked song called Once Upon a Long Ago. Don't mind the prices on here. Just subtract them in your mind. $5 for this. If you see the price, if you can make out the price, just take off 50%. That's what I got them for. Once Upon a Long Ago, really good song, overlooked song. B-side too, Back on My Feet, which I really like. That's a, a, a song that was probably my favorite that came out of the sessions with Elvis Costello, Back on My Feet. Uh, really like that one. And, you know, I'm not really too wild about the stuff that Elvis Costello and Paul McCartney did together for the most part. But Back on My Feet really is a favorite. I realize now that I probably should have taken all of these out of the sleeves before. But sorry about that, folks. But this is, again, sorry about the sticker here. Half off. You can't see Paul very well. But this is Junior's Farm and Sally G. There's a little tear there, unfortunately. But for $7, I mean, this is pretty damn good. And it's on the Capital label on this one. Japanese sleeve, pretty cool. We'll go through these later. I'll go through these later on. And fix them up, take them out of the second jacket. They're all in double sleeves, I noticed, like this one here also. All of them on double sleeves. Here's another Japanese import, Another Day and Oh Woman, Oh Why, Paul McCartney, or Paul and Linda McCartney. Okay, here's a really nice sleeve, I think. I'm going to take it out. This is Letting Go, right? Letting Go, and You Gave Me the Answer. Really nice, attractive sleeve, I think. This one here was really cool to get because it's a Japanese Live and Let Die. And I like the 007 logo up there. Live and Let Die and I Lie Around. One of those like interesting, you know, rare B-sides from Paul. And finishing up the 7-inch records, I have this picture sleeve of We Love You Beatles, a novelty song. It kind of makes me blush. It's kind of, you know, I like novelty songs. Whenever I hear We Love You Beatles, oh yes we do, I always, it's so silly. I like the sleeve though, by the Carefrees. So, you know, since I had double sleeves for some of those other ones, I think I got myself a sleeve now for this. All right, that's everything that I got at the convention that I went to, or music fair, edited. So I'm going to show you some stuff that my friend Elliot has given me. I showed this in the Abbey Road unboxing video. This is an ad that came with, for some people when you got the Abbey Road set, the one that's out now, the 50th anniversary. Elliot gave this to me a few days before the release date. I mean, I managed to get a hold of this before. Wasn't even sure they were going to be giving it out with the actual release, anniversary release. So now I've got a bag of stuff from Albert Dock, Liverpool, England. And this is stuff I believe I had before but forgot to show. Now, there's a lot of little trinkets here, a lot of trinkets in. I don't know if I'll get every one of them in, but we'll try. This is Albert Dock, the Beatles story pin. And I see I got a bunch of those. You know, some of them are the same. But then you have stuff like this is an image of Ringo. Here's a little pin from the Cavern. I'm trying to do the best I can to show these. It's not easy because they're so tiny. It says the Cavern there. The little lighting is. A lot of those Black Beetle pins I show. Now here's a drawing of Paul. More Black Beetle pins. Oh yes, do see me. If you see me at the Fest for Beatles fans, do come around me. I will have little giveaways for everybody. Okay, here's another one of those cool drawings of John. And here is one of George, not to be left out. All right. So that takes care of those. Now some more stuff. Here's from Elliot Rave On. This is Paul with the Buddy Holly event. Okay, now I want to show you something really cool that I like, and I think a lot of you female fans out there would like these too. There's a bunch of necklaces here with the Beatle cartoon figures on them that Elliot gave me, and I really think these are so cool. But I'm going to start by showing you this one, which is Paul. And again, I apologize. I know it's hard to get a good focus on the image. Okay. Now the other ones here, I'm going to have to spend a couple of hours untangling these. They're all tangled together, but I'll show you what we have anyway. They're all knotted together, but they can be undone. There's the Ringo one. Ringo on his drum kit. Here is John. You know what the cartoon Beatles look like. And Joe. Hey Ringo, this is George from the cartoons, Ringo. There you go. So, I'm sure some of you will get a kick out of that. I like the cartoon voices. Okay, lads, come on, boys. Let's do our music. A one, a two, a three. That's John. Then you have, Ringo. Yeah. And you have George, Ringo. I think we have to rehearse now, Ringo. But here's a pin for Rain, which I guess is the Beatles tribute band, Rain. And I've got several of those as well. I also have a official Apple merchandise Beatles logo. Looks like a drum head. I've got a bunch of these. This is Ringo Starr and his all-star band. It says 19. Is it 97 or 87? Whatever. One of the two. There's a bunch of those. And I'm sorry, Elliot, if you're watching, Elliot. I'm sure you are. I don't want to miss anything here, but if I miss a few things, I'm sorry. Here's another chain with Beatles logo, and on the back we have the signatures of the Fabs. Well, it doesn't really translate well here on the camera, but trust me, it's the signatures. Here's the Buddy Holly story button. From Beatle Fest 91. Beatle Fest 91. Anybody was there? I was at that particular Beatle Fest. Didn't make them all in the 90s, but I think I'm sure I was at this one. There's a Beatle Fest 91. Got a whole bunch of these, tons of these. George Harrison, the Dark Horse years 76 to 92. Don't know exactly what these are. Stickers. I think they're stickers, but maybe not. I don't know what they are. But placemats. Now, sticking with George Harrison, I've got a bunch of pins here. All things must pass. Isn't it a pity? George hanging out. Some things here I have don't seem to be related to Beatles at all. Paul McCartney, Out There, the 2013 tour. Wear it round your neck, by heck. All right. This is an item that I think is pretty damn cool. This is a postcard. It's a postcard advertising Ringo's soon-to-be album, Vertical Man. And this is unusual. I think this is one of the coolest items. Out of all the items in here, this is really cool to me. Vertical Man postcard. Now, speaking of cool, I haven't really looked at these very closely, but we're going to look at them now. See, it says bubblegum over here, and these look like Ringo Starr bubblegum cards. Maybe if Elliot appears here, he could tell us more about these. I'm going to take this out. Ringo Starr's All-Star Band cards by Ryko. It says Ryko disc because they put this out. This is really cool. Out of all the things in here, this is another top draw for me. You can see it says Ryko in the corner. Ryko disc, Nils Lofgren, Levon Helm, Dr. John, all these people now not with us. Billy Preston, Jim Keltner, still got Jim, Clarence Clemens, Rick Danko, Joe Walsh. Hey, Joe. Well, now this is an amazing set. This might be the best thing in this whole batch. You know, it's so hard to say. There's so many cool things here. All right, I'll fix this later. Now, this is beautiful. It's a record mat, but George Harrison, All Things Must Pass record mat. Let this be the thumbnail. Jeez. And finally, I think this is going to wrap up this particular edition. We have a calendar, which is not open. It's still sealed. Calendar for 2018. So thank you, Elliot. I don't know how much more he's got, if anything, but I thought the last batch that I showed in my other video was going to be the final amount of goodies and trinkets. So I'm here when you are, Elliot. So thank you, everybody. Have a great morning, evening, night, day. Take care.